What's up, guys? Yet another cool build to show off. This, if you've been following me for a while, I did a series of dials where I did a version 1 and I did a version 2 of several different planes, and I did one of each. So this is version 2. Did I put that through a little too far? Apparently I did, yeah. This is version 2 of our F4U Corsair. So the version 1 went out at one point, so I only release these like one at a time, and I space them pretty far out. So you haven't seen one of these for a while. I only have, how many left do I have? Let's see. I've got a version 2 P40 Curtis, and I've got a version of the F4F Wildcat, version 2. And then I have a version 1 of the F22 Raptor. So, version 1 of the Corsair. I don't remember where that went. I'd have to look it up, see who got that one. This is the version 2. So what I do with the version 2, version 1's had the top-down silhouette of the plane, and then off to the side it had the nice little, Navy style logo, and then had the wording. So sometimes the wording was here, sometimes I think maybe I kept all the wording on the left and all the stars on the right. But on the version 2, it is the front facing version of it with the tachymeter style layout dial, and the plane reference obviously under the hand here. So what we do with these were custom aluminum, a little expensive. Did them all about 2 years ago. So I wanted to do this titanium insert. So what we did was we matched paint and painted all the etched out areas. So took some nice gray, mixed a little bit of black in there until we've got that same color, and then custom painted that, and then sanded it and backside lumed. Did a set of silver sword hands on this. Did this in a brushed 160 case, star engraved crown, star engraved milled caseback. Did lug extensions because I like the way that looks coming out of under the watch, which you can remove these. They pop right off. You got holes in the side to kind of depress to get into them. And then you have your slide lock or your quick disconnect. This is on a super comfy, very pliable, very soft wristband strap with rivets, star engraved preview buckle. So just to show how easy these come off, as you may not know with this style. So you could always take that off if you want. It's just, I think it looks way cooler. It can be more of a pain to get them back in, especially looking through a camera. But that is the build. Oh, this is in a tall Atlas polished bezel with a titanium minute insert. So I kind of skipped over that a little bit quickly. The other cool thing, you can't see it, it's in there, but this has one of my last 2 gilded movements. So the whole movement is done in gold. That was from that series of watches somebody else did, and they had a bunch of extra movements, and I bought them all from Brazil, and I bought like 30 of them. And I'm down to 1 left, but there is one inside here since this is a special one-off watch. So just for a reference, you can see there's your F4U Corsair referenced right there. And I also probably will take I probably have some cool pictures I can take out of my modern military aircraft book to lay the watch over and do too. So if this is going to you, you have the only one like this one. Now you might be other version 2s out there that I've done in titanium or kind of had a similar kind of overall look, but they are definitely not the Corsair itself. So, but this is the build. Automatic mechanical in the back, as I was mentioning before, with a rotor that moves back and forth. So as you're moving, it is winding. But if it is dead or you're not going to be very active, right when you pick it up, make sure you wind it just a little bit so that when you set it, you are keeping time throughout the day. And how you will do that, we will reset this, because you cannot go from setting the time back to winding. You have to re-engage the clutch system in the wobble crown, in the stem system, not the crown. But anyway, back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll know that you're there because you are disengaged from the threads, so it is loose. And you notice you've got a wobble crown. So anyway, winding it that way winds it. Winding it this way doesn't wind it, but it is a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and go back and forth. 4 or 5 seconds of this mixed with your rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. But if you do it for something closer to 10 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour plus power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it. It's got a slipping mainspring, so as it gets to where it needs to be fully wound, it's just deflecting it. So you can keep winding. You won't know that you're done winding, but it's not accepting anymore. So you cannot overwind it, as somebody referenced at one of my videos. Anyway, even doing that for 10 seconds is probably over the capacity. Not that, like I said, you can wind it all day if you want, but I'm saying, like, I don't know if winding it for 10 seconds maxes it out or if about 7 seconds of it does it. Just letting you know, that's what I do. Let's sit here and do this. And then I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then I set it down and I check it the next day, and it's always running. It's always keeping the right time. So somewhere around there is your full winding. So when you're happy with your winding, you can then pull it to the 1 and only click, and now you can set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so the second hand's going to keep going. You also notice your wobble crown a little bit more pronounced there. That deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, into the keyless works. When it's screwed in, the stem disengages, so if you have impact to the crown, it doesn't transfer into the movement. So very cool thing for the people who go, oh, something's wrong, something's going to fall off. They've never fallen off. That doesn't happen. It's a wobble crown. It's a thing. Rolex used to have wobble crowns. So it's a thing, and it's worked for 80 years, so they keep doing it. So anyway. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 12:25 p.m.
12:25. Push it over. Get it out of that time setting. And then wind it down. And that is your build. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. You are going to get a dial matching custom box. You're going to get watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as a microfiber. You're going to get leather conditioner to keep that strap perfectly soft. Apply it on the front and back if you need to. Let it soak in, remove any excess using a rag or something. Don't use a micro. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like poly watch, and it's for your acrylic glass because you can't scratch it. But if you do, you'll put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your included microfiber. Color matching. So if the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch, haze it, buff it out. If it's still there, wait a little bit, let that solidify, and revisit again before you're rebuilding back up what you scratched out. That's it. That's the build. I'll release another one of these in probably 3 or 4 months or more. And that's it. So if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, because I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.